OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck, sell it through the stack. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge, look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing interview for you guys today. So last weekend, we put out the video with MIDL. It was absolutely awesome. We met Georgy. He's the DevRel over there, and it was absolutely awesome. We kind of learned a lot. And then about a day later, I kind of seen their campaign running, and I was like, I definitely, we kind of missed the opportunity to kind of talk about this, to kind of introduce that to our community, because we want our community to win, right? We want our community to be number one, and learning about projects and learning how you guys can get in early and something truly special like we think MIDL is, I think is really crucial for our community. So that's definitely something we're going to get in today. And we get the opportunity to meet Iva. He's the CEO over there, and we're going to be talking to him. It's going to be awesome to kind of learn his background and kind of get a different viewpoint of this project. I'm really excited for this one. So without further ado, let's bring up my partner first, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? How you feeling about this today?
I'm excited about it, right? There's a lot that's happened in terms of infrastructure for the Bitcoin ecosystem, even in the past couple of days. But if you look at the past couple of months, and then you can kind of look into the future of what's supposedly coming out, there's a lot of stuff that's happening. And MIDL is taking a unique approach, right? By being as native as possible to Bitcoin's native layer, but using the EVM tech stack to make that scalable and make it a comfortable and maybe recognizable type of environment for people that have been in DeFi, right? So I think really diving deep into what MIDL has to offer is really beneficial for our audience and for people that are trying to get onboarded to the Bitcoin ecosystem. So I'm excited for it. I'm ready to dive into it, and I know that they have this new campaign going on. And like you said, we always want our community to be ready the most, right?
Yeah, and I love the name for it. It's Journey to the Middle Grounds, right? Because MIDL wants to be that layer in between Bitcoin and EVM, right? In between like smart contracts on Bitcoin. And I love that about this. And you can, as they say, earn MIDL. So we're going to learn all about that. So without further ado, let's bring up the team. Let's bring up Georgy, who we've met previously, and bring up Iva. Guys, welcome to the show.
GM, everyone. Very nice to be back. And this time we have Iva with us. While I am staying a bit more on the positive vibe side, and I usually speak about techie stuff, Iva has a lot more to share. And he's a bit more Digin, I would say, from two of us.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I mean, taking the time out of your day and speaking to the audience and the Bitcoin community audience, I think it's very important. Bitcoin's ecosystem is very different in that aspect of where builders and the founders, they're okay to come and show their face and say, hey, this is who I am, right? So we got a chance to meet Georgy last week and introduce him to the ecosystem community, but love to give you Iva a chance to kind of go into your background, as far as you'd like, up into where you are today, which is the CEO of MIDL, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sure. It's going to be quite a long story. I think that my crypto journey started about 9 years ago. So what I was doing back then, I used to resell iPhones. So I would fly to New York a couple of days before it's being released, used to sit in the line next to the Apple store at the Fifth Avenue for like 2 or 3 days, just there, sleeping there and so on and so forth. And then I was the first one to buy them, fly them to Europe, and resell for double of the price. So one day, I think that was 2016 or 2015 or something like that, I brought them back to Europe, and I set some ridiculous price for them. It was let's say 2 times above the market. So I met the guy, he bought them, no questions asked. And I was like, okay, I have to know what this guy does for a living. So I approached the guy, I said, hey dude, what do you do for a living? He's like, I do crypto. I was like, okay, maybe it's worth to take a look. And that's how my crypto journey started back in 2016. Been buying Bitcoins, been buying shitcoins. I even used to be working as like an analyst in the VC back in the days. But then back in 2019 or 18, I think that was 18, me and my partner, we founded Prometheus, that originally used to be a data marketplace, rebranded a few times, got listed on Binance, I think in 2020. Then I left the company, founded Prosper. Prosper used to be a prediction market that was able to achieve about 300 million in prediction volumes within a week
Wow.
going live. Yeah, I got listed by Binance in 3 weeks after the TG. And then got acquired by Newcomer Brands just within a few months after going live. So that's my story before MIDL. But about 1.5 years ago, I decided, okay, now it's time to go to Bitcoin. So I was exploring what to do in the space, and we found out a huge problem that the wrapped Bitcoin wasn't actually decentralized. It was like, okay, let's build some sort of alternative to the centralized wrapped Bitcoin. Maybe it can be used by maxis and so on and so forth. We created the code for that. And then that was in the days when ordinals and runes were not a thing yet. So we saw that spike in the interest, the growth in the interest. It was like, okay, maybe applying the same tech, we can build something for that space. So we expanded the stack of what we do to the first Bitcoin DEX. We created the first Bitcoin DEX, I think, 1.5 years ago, where you could trade like the runes and the BRCs direct on chain with the Uniswap-like experience. It's like, hold on. So if we can do the DEX, that means that technically we can apply the same logic and bring smart contracts and other types of DApps directly into the Bitcoin. And that's how the MIDL was born. So that's pretty much it on that, still working on this, still trying to bring more and more DApps into the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Look, I mean, that's first of all, your experience is really extensive, and I think your resume it sounded really amazing. So I think a lot of people listening now probably want to know how they can get involved with MIDL. But I feel like you like to challenge yourself after hearing that, and the Bitcoin ecosystem is challenging, right? Because there's a lot of friction with being able to scale, and then also, does the community and ecosystem accept it and all these things? What was your mindset going into it? Did you prepare yourself to say, okay, this might be a bigger challenge than I'm used to, or were you like, okay, I got this? What was your mindset?
So look, I think first of all, if we will take a look on the Bitcoin ecosystem right now, we are actually on the breaking point, because first of all, we already have tokens. We already have communities and the user base. We already have the liquidity, but we are lucky in the way how we can transform this token economy, how we can transform the 2 trillion base of Bitcoin itself into the token economy. And that's a huge challenge. I think for me, it felt more like an exciting to find the way how we can transform it. Because if you will take a look on the token layer on Bitcoin right now, it's how much, like maybe 500 mil in the market cap, sitting on 2 trillion base. And if you will compare that to Ethereum or Solana, for Ethereum, I think the market cap right now is like 300 billion, and the token layer is like 500 billion. So I think that the Bitcoin ecosystem and Bitcoin in general, like hugely undervalued. And I think most of the people don't understand the scale of how big this thing, how big the Bitcoin ecosystem can become. So for me, it felt more like an exciting thing to do.
Yeah, that makes sense, 100%. How do you describe MIDL to like people, like new people?
Okay, so that's quite hard to describe something that is related to infrastructure in a simple way. But to be short, MIDL is the index of the whole Bitcoin ecosystem with its own DApps, with its own tokens, with its own different speculative activities that exist directly on the layer 1. So that's briefly how we describe MIDL. MIDL basically allows teams to come and build on top of Bitcoin. It allows teams to issue their product-related token directly on top of Bitcoin. And the most important part that works as some sort of the bridge between the base layer and the token economy, MIDL allows teams to actually give the utility and liquidity to their own token that exists directly on top of Bitcoin, kind of similar to ERC20s or like Solana token standard.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to attract builders that want to have their own token, you want to give them the ability to, have liquidity, right? That's the biggest thing. And I think right now that's, I think there's such a movement in the Bitcoin ecosystem, but that they're like, okay, we know that's going to come and we'll build here anyways right now. And you guys are going to provide that. So that's pretty awesome, the way you explained that. All right. Kind of getting off topic a little bit here, but I'm curious, like, how was Georgy and then Iva, I guess, like, how'd you guys meet? How was that? Like, how did you guys become a team, basically? Maybe Georgy can answer this one to start off with.
Well, I mentioned last time I've been working with the team for quite a long time. I've been leading an R&D department for many years by now. And basically R&D department that you see now evolved into MIDL. But me and Iva, we basically were born in the same city, so we knew each other like long before.
That's awesome. It's awesome whenever you actually know somebody and you know that they have like ambition, and then you kind of meet up into like forming a company, right? And that's exactly what it seems like happened there. Awesome. I guess maybe you can speak a little bit on, the part to where maybe MIDL can be a solution to some pain points, Georgy, like from a tech standpoint, right? We won't get too techie throughout this episode, but from a tech standpoint, how can MIDL be that solution to where Bitcoin has friction right now?
Sure. I think it's a relatively easy question to answer. Right now, if you are going to take time and like estimate how much effort do you need to launch, let's say, a DEX or lending protocol or like a perp DEX or SocialFi app on top of the Bitcoin L1, you can instantly multiply the time you need by 5 or 6 times. So it's like if you would have to spend 2 or 3 months, now you are looking at like 1.5 years of development for a single decentralized application. So with MIDL, you can just get it back to the initial estimate that you would usually have. So if you need like 2 months to build a spot DEX, you need 2 months to build a spot DEX, nothing else. And that's point A. Point B is you don't have to spend a lot of time and resources on finding these 2 unicorns on the whole planet who know how to build something on top of Bitcoin. You have a big pool of teams who are ready to come in from the EVM environment and build with the same development experience that they would usually have at the EVM site, but now accessing the Bitcoin liquidity, essentially. So that's keeping it very short.
No, 100%. I mean, it goes back to the name, right? Building that middle ground between smart contracts and liquidity and Bitcoin's liquidity as well. So, but yeah, for sure. I want to ask you the next question. So, like a year and a half ago, Bitcoin wasn't as developed as today. And when I say developed, I mean communities and people and users, right? What drives you these days, kind of keep moving MIDL forward? Is it the communities? Is it the builders? Like what is it?
So it's definitely not the community, because I said that before on my Twitter that I think the huge challenge for Bitcoin ecosystem right now is that we are running around with circles with the same people, and we are not really focusing on bringing new people into the Bitcoin space, because most of the crypto folks that exist outside of Bitcoin don't even know that Bitcoin can have tokens. We can discuss the advanced development of runes, of BRCs 2.0, but I think it's more important right now to bring new people in, and that's definitely something that drives me personally, and I think a lot of people at MIDL, is that we are trying to simplify that entrance process for them. So basically just trying to explain everything on the fingers, how it works, how you can benefit from that, and so on and so forth. So more people we will be able to bring into the ecosystem, the better. And I think it's beneficial not just for us as a project, but I think for the whole ecosystem, because they can engage with other solutions as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with you. We definitely need to onboard. I mean, that's one of our biggest things here at OnChain Revolution, is bringing people on chain, right? And bringing people from these exchanges on. But there is a little bit of a community. We have these group of people called Dog, right? The Dog has been so loud. I mean, to the point where Kraken can't ignore us anymore, right? I'm curious your opinion about potentially building around something like Dog and the community that is there.
Definitely. That's why we, as a part of our liquidity bootstrapping program, we already accept Dog. Definitely want to engage with them as much as possible. The guys did a great job in terms of attracting users, but it is still a long way to go, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
We need to basically create more opportunities for people to come in.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, and both of you are, Shizzy and you, in terms of Dog being. I feel like at least we have Dog is kind of like what the phrase is. At least we have Dog. Dog is trying to onboard people to the Bitcoin ecosystem, but you're right, Iva, in terms of giving more opportunities. So, what do you feel like would be, if you were to look down a year and a half from today, and you look back at MIDL, what would success look like to you for MIDL?
Well, I think it's really hard to say what I would change a year or something ago. I think we are on a great track, and I wouldn't change anything. But judging about the success, I think it should be judged by the usage of products. And as we are not live on the mainnet yet, we cannot make any conclusions related to this thing. And for us, it's been especially hard to build the community, to do the marketing, because first of all, we are an anonymous team. Not that anonymous as you guys.
Not anymore.
We are an anonymous team. We have not announced the funding yet. The round has been closed, but we have not announced it yet. And when you don't have a funding, when you don't have a press release from those bigger VCs, the only way for you is to work hard, or to just be a Bitcoin KOL like Udi, to on his own projects and so on and so forth. But yeah.
Very, very true. It's hard to be big here, and but I think that's going to change, right? And that's one of our goals, is to give a microphone to builders in the space, because I do think that once the unlock happens to where, okay, that 2 trillion, the biggest thing is getting a good amount of that 2 trillion market cap interested enough into the broader Bitcoin ecosystem, right? And I think that day is going to come. But when that happens, there's going to be a lot of people outside of the ecosystem that are sidelined, that are going to kind of FOMO. But still, we haven't reached that yet. And so, one thing that we try to focus on here is to give that microphone to allow these builders that are brilliant like yourselves to be able to say, hey, look, we're going to have the solution for you guys, right? So one of the things that you guys are getting ready right now, or it's actually, I believe, live, is your campaign, right? And that's a part of kind of getting people from the outside interested in. Could you talk a little bit about the campaign and how the community and people that might be listening for the first time could get involved?
Yeah. So basically, right now, there are 2 ways how you can become a part of MIDL movement and the Bitcoin ecosystem in general. Is first of all joining our journey to the Middle Grounds game. So in that game, you can complete quests, you will earn gears. But I would like to highlight here that it is not the point system. So we actually replaced the standard point system with something that I call the proof of result. So once we hit the public testnet stage, which we expect to be next week, you will be able to convert those gears into the Bitcoins on a testnet 4. We already prepared a bunch of activities that emulate the whole ecosystem, including the ICO platform, including the lending market, the swap, and a bunch of other stuff. And your goal will be to multiply the Bitcoins that you've got on a testnet 4, and depending how big your multiplier is, the higher your reward is going to be. So the gears that people earn right now, they do not indicate any reward. That's basically the first thing. The second thing is our liquidity bootstrap program. Basically, we give away actual tokens based on the, I think it's not on that page. I'm not sure, because we are right now updating the website, expecting to ship a new version next week. Yeah, so basically speaking about the liquidity bootstrap program, we allow people to soft commit their funds, which means that funds stay on their wallets. They don't move anywhere. They're not being locked, and you starting getting tokens immediately. However, in order to claim them, you have to actually supply the liquidity to the protocol directly on Bitcoin layer 1 for a certain period of time. And if you won't supply that liquidity, the rest of the reward will be divided between other participants. However, there is a third thing that I want to mention right now. I think I've made some of the tweak on my Twitter, but we are actually getting ready to the mainnet campaign, the second week of July. Basically, MIDL goes live to Bitcoin mainnet right in 1 week. However, because we are waiting for audits to be completed, it's going to be restricted, so whitelist only with some transaction limits. But in the middle of July, you will be able to first have actually native DEX directly on Bitcoin that works. You will be able to swap your Bitcoin to USDT to DOG. Of course. The second thing, the lending market. So you basically will be able to borrow Bitcoin using your DOG or USDT as a collateral, get immediate liquidity, leverage your trades, whatever you want to do. We will also have the stablecoin. So basically, you will be able to mint the rune-based stablecoin using Bitcoin as a collateral. And we're also gonna do so-called first smart contract-based ICO directly on Bitcoin. So we'll be selling a small amount of MIDL tokens just to illustrate that ICOs can potentially exist directly on Bitcoin. There will be ICO smart contract that will give you tokens away. So yeah, that's it. That's how you can participate in the ecosystem right now. Maybe we're gonna add something else later, but for now, that's it.
That's pretty awesome. Wait, the ICO part though, is that related directly to MIDL, or are you saying that people can launch their own ICOs? Sorry, I was.
Yeah, sure. So once we go full mode live on Bitcoin mainnet, everyone will be able to do their own ICOs. But
wow,
yeah, just to illustrate that, we're gonna host a small MIDL ICO just to create a showcase to show people that it is doable and how to do it. So people will be able to participate. Obviously, the ones who has an access.
Yeah, I love that actually, because I think that's going to bring attention to utility a lot more, right? Whenever you can create your own ICO, and what a better chain to do it than Bitcoin, right? And so that's going to be really awesome. So speaking of kind of like this ICO, I guess like platform that you guys are going to have, let's talk about your ecosystem right now. Most ecosystems kind of start with like an AMM. You might have a borrowing and lending. You can have like an NFT side or whatever. Is there anything that you feel like, kind of a call to action to maybe some developers that are listening right now that you would be would like to possibly build on MIDL?
I'm going to pass my word to Georgy here.
Georgy!
Yeah. So first of all, the stuff that you're showing right now at your screen, these are the first protocols who are already 3 of them already finished the deployment at the testnet that we have right now. So OMZO, the spot DEX, Helios, a lending protocol, Bima, stablecoin, and also Hedgehog. They are going to build a derivative on the Bitcoin transaction fee.
Yeah, Georgie, sorry for interruption. I would like to highlight specifically Hedgehog here. So basically, what guys are trying to do, they're trying to hedge your BTC transaction costs, which is really important. Will be really important once we create more on-chain activity. So imagine that as if you can subscribe to a certain amount of Bitcoin transaction. Let's say you pay $100 a month, you can do 30 transactions. Just as an example, that's something what those guys are bringing.
Yeah, and these are pretty active guys. I love them. Otherwise, we have quite many teams now, like preparing to start the deployments, or like basically trying the water and seeing what they can do. But what basically surprises me from time to time is when I like keep saying that you can build anything now on Bitcoin. Like there are no limitations. You can do like literally everything. And then I was like, we should really show them that they can build ICOs because they don't know it. And then I was like, you guys can build ICOs. And like, you can build ICOs? No. Yeah. So I guess we want to see all the same applications we love to use at EVM compatible networks now at Bitcoin side. So it's perp dexes, it's socialify applications, it's gamify applications, RWAs, ICOs, derivatives, and so on.
Sorry, Georgie. I also want to add a small message here to the builders. Because right now, within the industry, not just Bitcoin ecosystem, but EVM or Solana space, we have the situation where the projects are basically just hunting for grants. Because first of all, they don't know how to monetize that. They do not know how to attract users. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to just suck out the money out of the ecosystem that got used to giving big grants after the big funding. And I would like to say to the builders, please don't do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You won't be able to build a sustainable model using this approach. And here we are offering different ways of monetization for the builders. We will be paying to the builders $1 for every transaction related to their idea. So let's say you do the swap, we will pay you $1 for every transaction. We want to give you any grant. We will pay you for every transaction. So that keeps builders incentivized. And the big question is where the money comes from. The money comes from the Bitcoin transaction fee. We basically take a small fee on top of every Bitcoin transaction, and then redistribute it back to the builders.
I love that. Yeah, that's actually really smart. That's something I think Sonic is doing as well over there. So that's actually a really good plan to kind of keep your builders incentivized, like you said, because you have these builders that go build on Blast, and as soon as the grant is done, they go build somewhere else, and that's not sustainable, right? It's not sustainable for the builders because you kind of want to build. You want to build a way to make money and a way to constantly keep the users that you have instead of always going looking for new users. 100%. Middle seems to be something that you could have longevity in because it's new. I mean, no one's really building for Bitcoin. So, I mean, I 100% agree.
Yeah, and rolling that incentive mechanism is genius because, like, it's not just from you guys that we heard about the grant hunting. We've heard it from multiple. You go to all these Bitcoin layer 2s, they're talking about it, and it actually turns off the founders of the chains or environments or scaling solutions like you guys, because you want to help builders, encourage them, but if they're just grant hunting, it doesn't make any sense. It actually hurts the industry overall, like you mentioned. But yeah, super exciting stuff, coming from you guys. I'm excited to see, how the incentive mechanism works. We're going to do a tutorial video for our audience once that's, fully live and all that stuff. But I guess, how do you view, this is more of a broad ecosystem question, but like, how do you view the current state of the Bitcoin ecosystem? Do you feel like we're just like a tiny ecosystem? Because there are multiple builders from different environments, ICP, Near, Cardano. You guys are doing your custom thing. Do you feel like it's like exciting for builders, or do you feel like we're still very small?
I think that we are still very, very small, because if you will take a look on the Bitcoin transaction costs and the number of solutions which are live already, including MIDL. MIDL is also not live, so I'm not in the position to criticize other people for not being live, but nothing is live yet. And, this feeling of the competition, I think, adds up a lot of drive personally to me, and I think for the whole team, because, hey, everyone wants to be the first one. I'm not talking about the layer 2s in general, because I'm not trying to insult anyone, but when it comes to layer 2 solutions, I'm quite skeptical at this point, because from the user perspective, I don't really understand why should I go to layer 2 when I can just go to Ethereum with higher liquidity and more users. I don't get that point. I think their time will come. It will come for sure, but just not now. And I think within 4 to 5 years, at the point when we will have a lot of activity on the base layer, a lot of activity that can be created by projects such as MIDL, such as Arch Network, such as OPNet, all the Meta protocols who are building on the base chain. So, and I think then it's going to be time for the layer 2s.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of them too, right? There's Hemi and Botonics, and there's like a new one popping up every day. And yeah, you're right, 100%. How do you feel? You mentioned them already, Arch and OPNet, and then MIDL. Do you feel like you guys could all kind of work together in a way, or do you think it's always going to be kind of opposite and kind of different?
I don't feel like we are direct competitors. Even with Arch Network, it's like the most close one from the architecture standpoint to us, but it just direct leads to the different audience. Arch is trying to address the Solana-based audience, and we are trying to address the EVM and Ethereum-based audience. And those are different people, let's be frank. People that do some I'm personally an Ethereum guy. I never traded memes. I never traded anything on Solana, and I'm not a huge fan of Solana, but I guess there's a huge base of people sitting there, and there's also a huge base of people sitting on the EVM. And what we are trying to do, just to bring those people into the Bitcoin safe space from the different sides. So I cannot really tell that we are competitors in a way. But yeah, speaking about the Meta protocols such as OPNet, it's a completely different thing. It just like allows you to run the basic operations. So it's totally different story. I wouldn't even compare.
Yeah, and the EVM ecosystem right now is being severely overlooked, and because Solana has taken that spotlight. But if you zoom out, you see these huge companies launching their own EVM layer 2, right? So you got to kind of be like, okay, they obviously see value in the tech stack. And so bringing that to Bitcoin, and also the developer pool, you're not thinking about that. I mean, that's a huge developer pool that you guys have access to, and say, hey, look, we're doing this with Bitcoin, but natively using something you guys are familiar with. Build over here, and so I think it's going to be huge. In that aspect, you're right. You guys aren't direct competitors with Arch. They're doing their own thing. The only thing that would be competing would be the fact that you guys are both using Bitcoin in that native way, and but you're leveraging the other tech stacks there. So I think there's going to be kind of two roads of success separately there. But I'm excited for it. Right? Because it starts there. It's like the SVM, the EVM. So this is my last question for you guys, and I'll ask you both separately. We'll start with you, Iva. One thing that you're most excited about for MIDL for the next 6 months.
At the mainnet launch, of course.
Easy answer.
Yeah, sorry, Georgie, I put you in a hard position.
All right, Georgie.
No, I think it's fine. I'm excited to see, I guess, more teams coming in and building on Bitcoin, because we can launch like as a foundation, we can launch the mainnet, but I'd rather see a lot of teams upscaling the Bitcoin FI essentially, and I would like to see the Bitcoin summer happening. Maybe not this summer, but maybe we can shift it to Bitcoin autumn or something. Yeah. So this is like Bitcoin autumn. Yes, Run June didn't work out. So
well, it's that time.
We got 11 days. 11 days.
Yeah, okay. So Bitcoin autumn. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited who kind of takes advantage of you guys, right? Meaning the sense of, you know, Aave or Curve or some of the big dogs in DeFi. I feel like some of them are definitely going to be looking this way, especially as Bitcoin goes up. But who really knows, right? At the end of the day, I mean, that you guys got to show value first, and I think you will do that, and then you're going to have some really big players in the space looking your way, especially being EVM. But yeah, man. Well, this has been absolutely amazing, guys. Go check them out. Middle.xyz is the website. And then Georgy is at middle big G. And then Pixel Cat is there you are. You're at FX16 PXL. Go follow these guys, man. And then obviously follow the Middle X account for all your updates. But guys, we'd love to give you guys some last words here. We'll start with you, Georgy.
Well, first of all, I guess thank you very much for having us in here. And I guess you guys are asking a lot of questions. So why don't we ask you one? Like, what would you love to see at the Bitcoin DeFi space? Like you two personally.
Yeah, I'll start off here. I want to see everybody continually working together. One thing I've noticed the last 3 to 4, maybe even 5 months, which we didn't see a year ago or a year and a half ago, the tribalism has been cut down. And I think everybody wants like Bitcoin DeFi to succeed, because if it doesn't, then like everybody fails, right? And so I want to see the infrastructure continually working together, whether that's like, you know, Middle working with, you know, another project that's in another ecosystem somehow, you know, whether it's Arch or whatever that can, I know it's SVM and EVM, but you get what I'm saying. Or, you know, other meta protocols not trying to cut each other's heads off like they have been in the past. Because at the end of the day, it truly is, you know, this is not the first time that assets have been birthed on Bitcoin. We've had the colored coins. We've had, you know, what was it? Counterparty. And every single time the friction killed it. And so this time definitely feels different because of the amount of want that these builders want for it to actually move forward. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. I know I went kind of long on there, but go ahead, Shizzy.
No, that was good. 100%. I 100% agree with that too. I would say I want to see more RWA, right? I would love to see Pokemon cards come to Bitcoin. I would love to see some basketball cards and stuff like that. Some RWA stuff to where I can redeem it if I want to, or I can hold in my Bitcoin wallet. I mean, that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And if somebody doesn't build it, I might just build it myself, right? So ChatGPT is getting really good at coding these days.
On middle.
on middle. But yeah, 100%. But I would love to have some your last words.
Yeah. So guys, if you are building the Magic, MTG, or Pokemon, please reach out to us. We will help you to go live on Bitcoin. But I think my last words will be, please understand the scale, because people tend to underestimate what is about to happen within the Bitcoin ecosystem. I don't know how many people here still remember the early days of Ethereum, but I certainly do, because that was the time when I just came into crypto. I remember when people used to trade ERCs on either Delta, and if you guys been for a while in crypto, you remember how was the user experience, how was the liquidity, and that kind of reminds me of trading rooms right now. And just within a year, the whole ecosystem blew up. We got all these ICOs. We've got the projects raising money, shipping new solutions into the market, people making fortunes and losing fortunes at the same moment. And I think we are just right in this point for Bitcoin ecosystem. So pre-DeFi day, pre-ICO day, just this small scale infrastructure with the shitty liquidity, shitty use case, and nothing else. But I got the feeling that it's about to blow up.
Let's go. I've heard multiple times about Delta. I actually wasn't there at that moment. I came whenever they made all the good stuff, right? Like whenever Uniswap was out and MetaMask was full in force. But Delta Exchange, we've heard stories about it. That people compare it to that. But yeah, that's awesome. That gets me excited. Iva experiencing that and saying we're in that same area with Bitcoin. So, guys, be excited if you're watching this. But we want to thank you both for spending the time and talking to our audience and really getting to know them, because that is one thing for sure that's different about the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I'll tell you, people, the founders, they are here to talk to you guys. So thank you, Georgy and Iva, for spending time with us. And we look forward to having you guys back on in the future.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, see you guys.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Absolutely amazing. Those guys are phenomenal. I'm really, really bullish on middle and what it can be. I mean, the middle ground, right? Absolutely, it's gonna be awesome for sure.
For sure. Yeah, the biggest thing about middle is the fact that they're bringing something unique. Yes, it is similar to Arch Network, but it's different in the fact that the tech stack is EVM. So they are bringing a different approach in that aspect. And also they're opening up, the developer pool to the EVM side, which has the biggest developer pool in our space, right? So I'm excited for it. This team seems like they're really focused on, trying to scale Bitcoin. And Iva seems like he loves challenges, right? And he has the perfect guy to run the tech side in Georgy, right? So I'm excited for it, and I'm ready to see what they got.
Yeah, and he's came a long way, right? He's seen the ups and downs of what Ethereum brought to the table. I mean, 2016 and getting into crypto, and then kind of seeing the DeFi burst in 2020. It definitely shows you that he's has understanding of what needs to be and what can kind of go away. Like he seems very knowledgeable of our space, and I love that about a lot of builders here, because it's not like you're just going to build this and just kind of hope it goes good, but you actually have the knowledge to kind of push it in that direction. But again, absolutely amazing, guys. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you guys wouldn't mind checking out our partners.
Yep, exactly. Without you guys, we couldn't do this every day. We love this. This is our passion, but we couldn't do it if you guys weren't watching. So thank you so much for supporting us. And we also can do it if our partners weren't allowing us to do this as well by supporting us. We love to do this every single day, Monday through Friday. But check out our partners if you don't mind. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem, right? If you're going to swap for runes, for native runes, you're going to do so at satsterminal.com. Why? Because you can earn Amber points whenever on every transaction. As soon as you connect your wallet for the very first time, you get 1,000 Amber points. And what are Amber points? Amber points are going to go towards rewarding early adopters, is what the founder said, right? And so that's really exciting. They have a Amber is Forever campaign. Make sure you're following them on X. You can figure out how you can actually multiply your opportunities to earn more Amber. Also, they support alkanes as well as runes. So if you want to swap for alkanes, you can do so at satsterminal.com as well. Make sure you join their community as well. They have an amazing team there waiting to answer any question you have. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets in their markets. They have their Blitz markets that you can participate in right now. They're 10-minute markets that you get 10 minutes to kind of lock in the price that you want, either to select Bitcoin, BNB, or Solana. And if you think it's going to go up or down, you can choose. And then 10 additional minutes after that to see if you're correct or incorrect. But really fun, but be responsible with that, of course. In the near future, you're going to be able to create your own markets here on this predictions marketplace. So you can earn 1.5% of the total volume that you get with your custom markets, right? And then if you refer a friend, you get 1% of their total transaction volume. So there's a lot of features that are coming, guys. We could spend forever on this because we've been under the hood, and I'm telling you, be patient because it's going to be really awesome. Head over to betptc.win to dive in and learn, dive into their docs, join their community, stay up to date with betptc.win. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer for Bitcoin ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your frogs, node monks, puppets from Bitcoin layer 1 to abstract, base, Ethereum, Merlin, Bitcoin layer 2, and eventually Solana. You can actually jump your Taproot Wizard right now because the Ethereum jump is active right now. You can actually jump into Ethereum and borrow against it with the Gandhi platform right now. But if you want to utilize their AI tool, you can do so as well. AI Agent Hustle in the future is going to be able to help you jump these ordinals to Solana. But right now you can use it to get you through the jungles of Solana, right? So AI Agent Hustle is going to be able to be your assistant. You can use Hustle, ask him, hey, give me a safe 5x in the Solana ecosystem. He will give you information. He'll pick about 3, 4, 5 different tokens that could fit those criteria that you put in there, right? Or if you put a contract address in there, he can give you information on it, the red flags, the green flags of why it might be good. But right now, you can try Hustle for free. In the future, they're going to have a business model that's wrapped around their token, their Hustle token. So make sure you take advantage of it right now just to check it out, see if it's something you like. Don't forget, they have a TGE rune that's going to be coming out in September. You can take advantage of that right now in a pre-sale environment at OpenSea if you search Emblem Founder Vault Keys. If you purchase one of those NFTs in the TGE timeframe, you'll get instructions on how to get those runes into your Bitcoin wallet. So head over to emblem.vision and learn about all those products we just talked about. And then Artura.finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade Doggo to the Moon, Billion Dollar Cat, Ordi, Sats, and traditional tokens outside of the ecosystem like XRP, Tau, Ethereum. But if you're not into trading, that's fine. You can actually add liquidity to their vaults to help, solidify the platform there. You can earn passively that way, right? Make sure that you're joining their community in their Discord because they have some really experienced traders that can give you guys tips as well. But head over to Artura.finance today. They're going to be launching on Botonic's Bitcoin Layer 2 with a co-promotion going on to where you want to take advantage of the Artura platform, and you're going to benefit on the Botonic side as well. And Hemi Bitcoin Layer 2 a little bit after that launch, which is backed by Binance Labs. So get excited because these guys have been building for a long time to try to create an amazing perps DEX for you guys. Head over to Artura.finance today. And then Fluid Tokens is the UTXO wizard devs of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They are also on Cardano. They started there. They're still there, but they also came over to Bitcoin. Why? Because they wanted to utilize their UTXO dev skills, and that's exactly what they did. They were the first to offer staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1. If you staked in their Doggo to the Moon Season 2, make sure you claim your rewards as well as your original token staked. You can do so in one transaction. They're going to have a Season 3 that's going to be coming out for the Dog Staking Vault. Should be at the end of July or early August. So make sure you're following their X account and staying up to date with that. You can actually also utilize their airdrop tool on the Bitcoin side if you have a community and you need to airdrop runes. Very simple. You can either upload a CSV file or you can do it manually. But yeah, make sure that you are taking advantage of that. And if you are a creator and you have an established community, head over to their Discord. You can ask them how to get a staking vault started for your community there. They'll walk you through the steps. On the Cardano side, you can utilize their Aquarium platform, and you can earn Babel fees there. Head over to fluidtokens.com. You can learn about the Cardano or Bitcoin side there. And then Tokyo is the multi-chain smart wallet, guys. They also support Cardano and Bitcoin, and they're going to be supporting new ecosystems in the near future. You can swap for runes on the Bitcoin side because they partnered with SAS Terminal, which is the aggregator for Bitcoin, or you can swap for SNEC because they partnered with the main aggregator on the Cardano side. If you have an iPhone, make sure you go to the Apple App Store, download the app there. If you have an Android, go over to the Google Play Store and download it there. Check out the app. Let us know what you guys think. We'll let the team know. But you can actually check us out directly on the app because they have an alpha section there that has some different YouTube channels. So it's one-stop shop, guys. That's all about UI, UX, and they want you to stay there because it's going to be the best place to do all types of DeFi transactions, right? Head over to Tokyo.io today to dive in and learn more. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin's strength with the power of AI with their Wizard 0.03 AI to guide you through Merlin Chain's ecosystem. The Wizard can help you stake, swap, and do other DeFi functions. And speaking of staking, you can actually participate in the proof of stake like security, basically, to help secure the chain, right? There's two different options. There is the day-to-day, the flexible, that you can earn 15% APR. And when you do withdraw that, it does take a 7-day period. So remember that, but you can actually withdraw the rewards every single day there. And then you have the bonded, which is a 6-month 45% APR. You can also withdraw the rewards on the day-to-day there, but it is locked in there for 6 months. So make sure that you really look into the docs there and decide what you want to do with that. But Merlin Chain is crushing it constantly, putting out new headlines every day. They're on the Kraken roadmap along with Dog. They're a part of the Wrap DAO, Wrap Bitcoin DAO, I should say, one of 11 teams, only Bitcoin ecosystem team, by the way. So this team is crushing it. Head over to merlinchain.io to learn more there. And then Jungle AI, or Jungle, which is an AI company or project there, formerly Foxy AI. They are building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, as well as their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker. And they have onboarded Bitcoin Derby. Right. So they are a game ecosystem launchpad. Make sure you're checking them out, as well as Ordinal Hive, which is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace, similar to SaaS Terminal, but Ordinals. And they have amazing trader tools as well. So thank you guys for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. As always, and guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year, 2023. Check all those guys out. With so many good ones, guys. Check all them out there. We want to eventually be the coin desk of the Bitcoin ecosystem. But check this out too. Beginning of the end for Pump Fun. Go check it out, guys. Brand new article that just dropped there. And we got a VPN if you guys are interested. I love VPNs. I use it all day, every day, because I don't want people getting my IP address, which could lead them to my home address. I also don't like being stopped on using sites that I want to use, right? That's what a VPN will do for you guys. It can basically get you on any platform you want. If you want to get on MEXC, you can use a VPN. So definitely check that out there. Also, if you guys need merch for events or whatever, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto. Check everything out here at OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough. No. You not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction.